Hi again, and welcome to this third part of the lesson on minimalism. In this one, we're going to be focusing more on European trends and a subgenre that some have called holy minimalism. There's not a lot of new things for me to say. Most of what this lesson will be you listening to the pieces that are referenced in the video by taking the accompanying quiz. So take some time to listen and enjoy this music. Let's get started. So the holy minimalists um, wanted to communicate sacred feelings, religious feelings, and the way they did this was to embrace the aesthetic of minimalism, radical simplification of the materials. But now the purpose of that is to express these either sacred, mystical, or religious subjects. The first composer we'll look at is Arvo Pärt from Estonia. He's well known for his choral music, and the influences besides minimalism are Gregorian chant and polyphony. Um, these are not all choral works. The seven Magnificat antiphons are choral pieces. Spiegel in Spiegel is a piece you may have heard in films. It gets used quite a bit to create a certain peaceful, tranquil atmosphere. You'll really enjoy listening to that one. Fratres is also used quite often in films at least the films that I watch, not Hollywood blockbusters. And so why don't you pause the video at this point and listen to some music by Parrot. Okay, welcome back. Let's move on now and talk about John Tavener. Um, he's from England and he's taken a similar approach where he has chosen a harmonically simple type of music, also influenced by plain chant to convey something sacred. And a piece that he's written for solo cello and orchestra called The Protecting Veil is a beautiful piece that uses very simple textures and ideas to express something lovely. So pause the video again and listen to this and answer the question number 2. The next composer I'd like to talk about here is György Ligeti from Hungary. Um, I wouldn't classify his music as wholly minimalism, of course, but um, he was influential on the other composers we're talking about here, these European minimalists. He did adopt uh, a type of minimalism where it features static sound masses. They're harmonically and melodically static sound masses that move through time. And I think that this is just as influential as the concepts of minimalism from America. He was not very well known until three of his compositions were used in the movie 2001: Space Odyssey without his knowledge or permission, but that did bring his name forward. Um, so if you want to hear his orchestral music, I would recommend Atmospheres. Um, that it really illustrates this kind of idea of sound masses moving through time and creating kind of shapes that you can hear. It's very interesting. The piece that you'll listen to, Lux Eterna, is a choral piece that is a little more dissonant than the others we've been listening to because it features micropolyphony, which is where harmonic changes are sort of blurred. There's dissonant tone clusters along the way as one uh, choral sound blurs into another choral sound. But it has a similar aesthetic to the other pieces we've been listening to. Alright, so pause the video and answer question 3 and listen to Lux Eterna. Alright, and welcome back. I have one more composer I want to look at, and that is Heinrich Górecki from Poland. Um, he is another of what we would call the holy minimalist. He uses this simpler, sacred sound. Um, your project 5 is going to be based on the first movement of his Symphony Number 3 for orchestra and soprano. And that's a wonderful piece that you'll enjoy listening to. We're going to listen to the second movement here, and also a piece for male voice and an orchestra called Beatus Vir. And this is based on patterns and minimalist processes that you can hear audibly, and it's also music that is sacred and satisfying to the spirit. All right, so go ahead and listen to these pieces, and you can complete the last question in the quiz, and that's the end of our unit on minimalism. Thank you.